What's going on, everyone? So, you get a three-team trade, you get a three-team trade, everyone gets a three-team trade. So, most of the trades that the Lakers are looking at appear to, more likely than not, be a three-team trade. The Lakers are in active conversations with the Portland Trailblazers and are pushing hard for Jerami Grant. The problem is a couple things. One, Jerami Grant is looking like he's going to yield 2 firsts. The Portland Trailblazers really want 2 firsts for Jerami Grant. Now, that's always just like the sales tactic, right? If you want $50 for something, you're not going, oh, well, give me 50. You're going, give me 100, and you're hoping somebody's silly enough to give you 75, but you work your way down and boom, you get 50, right? So maybe it won't be 2 firsts, maybe it'll be a first and a pick swap, or, a first pick swap in a couple seconds or something, right? There's wiggle room on both sides. And also they're not in a rush. They don't need to hurry up this trade. Now, they want to trade Jerami Grant. They don't want him on the roster when they get into the regular season because they're in tank mode, right? They're trying to kind of reset, rebuild. He's the oldest guy on the roster. He's making the most money. If they can unload him, they want to unload him. But it's a long off season still. So they're looking at it as like, hey, maybe somebody will come along and want more, right? You got all these other teams that are working out all these other trades, and if maybe something falls through and they come knocking on the Blazers' door, and maybe they'll offer me 2 first-round picks. But I do think if the Lakers continue to be persistent, that it's more likely than not that they will land Jerami Grant if they ultimately want him. We're still waiting around for DeMar DeRozan, at least at the time of recording this video. Maybe while you're watching this, maybe DeMar DeRozan ends up being a Laker. But even that can kind of make things complicated. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-team deal because they don't want D'Lo. Same thing with the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers don't want D'Lo. And I know everyone's going to be like, of course, D'Lo's trash. No one wants D'Lo. It's not what it is. It's just you have the 2 teams you're trying to make a deal with have zero use for D'Angelo Russell outside of a salary dump, and both teams want to clear salary, so they're looking at it as like, find another team to take D'Lo because we're probably going to have to take D'Lo. Right now, one of these other teams, maybe they would be willing to take Rui or something like that, but the Lakers are trying to turn one of Jerami Grant or DeMar DeRozan into a D'Angelo Russell. And looking at the Blazers, they have like 9 guards. Like at some point, they're going to have to start unloading guards. So they don't need to bring in another guard and run, a 5-guard lineup. No, they're looking at it as like, hey, find a suitor for D'Lo and, we'll work it out. And then that's where the Brooklyn Nets seem to be in play. They're in play for both the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers trade and the Portland Trailblazers and the Lakers trade because they want D'Angelo Russell based on reports. Now, they are a team that has other assets and pieces that we want. And I've talked about how if we could work something out with Chicago and get DeMar DeRozan, I wouldn't mind pivoting and trying to get where you're getting a Cam Johnson or you're getting a Dorian Finney-Smith or both. Can you work something out where you get DeMar, Dorian Finney-Smith, and a Cam Johnson? That would be just a home run in my opinion. But if that doesn't work out, like the Lakers, I think will still try to land DeMar DeRozan either way. The thing is, though, is DeMar, based on reports, want $25 million. And if DeMar DeRozan was like the missing piece, sure, right? Like if we looked at it, it was like, man, if we get DeMar DeRozan, man, we're contenders. Like we're up there. We're one of the top 3 teams. Then sure, give him his money and let's go. But we're not. And we need more than DeMar DeRozan. You had DeMar DeRozan and Jerami Grant now we're cooking. Right? Because now you got a legit 3-and-D guy that go get you 20 plus a night. You got DeMar DeRozan who can cook, go get a bucket, close down the stretch for you, do so many things that DeMar DeRozan does. Now you're cooking, right? LeBron James, Anthony Davis. I love that. I love that. Yeah, you'd still have your mid-level exception. Let's go. If you could piece something like that together, then that's a home run. But somebody's got to take D'Angelo Russell if you're going to land both. And ideally, you need DeMar DeRozan to take like $20 million. Right? Because then that just becomes easy. Because then you just basically turn D'Lo into, D'Lo and maybe like Jalen Hood-Schifino or something like that, or even a vet minute, maybe Cam Reddish, whatever. Take those 2, boom, there's DeMar. And then now you're going to the Blazers and you're like, hey, we'll give you, Rui and Gabe Vincent or something, right? Like, and there you go. We unload that. We're, But even then, with the Gabe Vincent thing, so then maybe you're doing Jared Vanderbilt and you're keeping Gabe Vincent, right? So maybe it's like Rui and Jared Vanderbilt, and you're getting back Jeremy Grant, which I wouldn't hate because Rui and Jared Vanderbilt are essentially Jeremy Grant, right? Like you take those two because one, Rui is excellent offensively, terrible defensively. Jared Vanderbilt's excellent defensively, terrible offensively. And then mesh them together and have a child, and it's Jeremy Grant. The problem that I have with Jeremy Grant is two things. One is his commitment to winning. This is a guy that has shown over the years, he kind of will look lackadaisical out there. Kind of looks like a guy that almost has better things to do at times and is not really bought in and given 110%. The other side is he's also a guy that the Lakers have tried to trade for and basically had a deal lined up ready to go, but then Jeremy Grant started talking about how he didn't want to be a third option on stuff and basically was saying like he doesn't want to go to Lakers. And lo and behold, Lakers end up pulling back and going another direction. So now look, people grow up, people change their minds, people change perspectives, but he's also said several times that he loves being in Portland, he loves the position he's in, which not everybody wants to be a third option. Not everyone wants to play third, fourth fiddle, especially if you get a Demar Derozan. Now he's basically your fourth option, right? Not everyone wants that. Not everybody looks at that and goes, oh man, that's the best case scenario. He's in Portland. He gets to take 20 shots a game, get 30 million, and live his best life. That may be who he is. That may be what he wants. I mean, Kyle Kuzma could have won another championship. He had a chance to go to the Dallas Mavericks, and he was like, I did that with LeBron and AD. I don't want to do that again. And decided I'd rather, stay in Washington, hang out with my buddy Jordan Poole, and me and him could pull all the baddies courtside. Like, that to him was better than an opportunity to go win another championship. So, again, not everybody is like, oh, championship or bust. And my thing is that if you're going to give up 2 firsts, Jeremy Grant has to be championship or bust. He has to be locked in, focused, and ready to try to win a championship. He has to, hey, I'm here. I'm with it. I'm committed. Right? You need me to defend the best player? I got you. You need me to go get 15? I got you. Like, whatever you need from me, coach, I got you. Right? And, I know some people look at, like, even his defensive stats and they've kind of fallen off, but it's one thing to play on Portland where they're a bottom-feeding team. It's another thing to go play for the Lakers and have, an Anthony Davis backing you up. Right? Like, it changes a lot. Right, and DeMar DeRozan, if he can buy in, he actually has some pretty good defensive metrics. Not great or elite or anything like that, but he can hold his own on the defensive side. I don't hate the idea of maybe keeping Gabe Vincent and having him kind of be your point of attack defensive guy because you just need somebody to kind of initiate the offense. So maybe keep him and let him kind of be the point of attack. So now you got the 3-and-D defender. You got DeMar DeRozan, got Jeremy Grant, got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That would be nice if you could work that out one way or another. But regardless, the Nets seem to be the kind of key potentially to making one of these, if not both of these trades work. Maybe it even expands into a 4-team deal, right? But the problem is like the more cooks in the kitchen, the harder it is to get the meal done. And, it's the whole, that 3 teams is where trades go to die, right? Because it's like everybody has what they want and what they feel would be a win for them. All teams involved want to feel like they won and they got what they wanted. See it all the time. Deals get done and then somebody, you know what, come back. I changed my mind. I don't like that. I want this now. And it just, now you're starting all over. Now you're starting from scratch and it becomes a problem, right? So look, I'm all for getting Jeremy Grant if you can. I don't like the idea of giving up 2 firsts. Can you get like a Grant Williams in the deal too? Right? Like, or not Grant Williams, I'm meshing the names together. Robert Williams. Can you get a Robert Williams in the deal too? Because, look, they just drafted Clegan and they have Ayton. Like, how is that? I don't know how that's going to work. But even then, right, like they're running those 2 bigs. Sure, good luck. But even then, like, you have no need for Time Lord, right? You have no need for Robert Williams. So, can you get him in the deal too to kind of like justify the 2 first-round picks? The only problem with him, I mean, he's great. He'd be ideal, right? Especially in a backup role. Rebounds, great, gives you energy, block shots, good defender, right? Slot him next to Anthony Davis, good luck. I love the idea of Robert Williams alongside AD. Problem is his health. The guy can't stay healthy, so he's not worth the first. But if he's kind of an add-on, and it's like, well, you're really giving up 2 firsts for Jerami Grant. You're just kind of getting Time Lord added to the deal. Sure, right? And then the hope is that because Time Lord's playing a backup role, that, maybe you can kind of get away with him just, hey, give me 15 minutes a game and try to keep him as healthy as possible. Really like that. Now you're starting to piece together. The challenge would be trading for Grant, Time Lord, and DeMar DeRozan. You can do it, but it just becomes really challenging. And it also depends on DeMar's contract. Like if DeMar wants $25 million, then that makes things really challenging. But if he wants, say, $20 million, then you essentially just need like D'Lo and Jalen Hood-Schifino, or let's say D'Lo and Cam Reddish, right? Boom. D'Lo and Cam Reddish get you DeMar. Boom. And then like Rui, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and you'd have to give up Gabe Vincent at that point, and Jared Vanderbilt. So it'd have to be Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, and Gabe Vincent, because Time Lord's making like $12.5 million, and then you have Jerami Grant that's making $30 million. So let's call it $42 million combined. No, 42 and some change. So Rui would get you 17. You have Gabe Vincent giving you 11. So there's 28. Jared Vanderbilt's giving you another 10. There's 38. Jalen Hood-Schifino you throw in there. There's basically 41 and a half. And you probably have to throw in one more other piece. That kind of makes things tough. And you'd have to kind of get the Blazers to play ball. But, get DeMar, Time Lord, Jerami Grant, still have your mid-level exception. Sounds pretty good to me. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of, trying to get Time Lord in the deal too? Do you think, which 3-team do you think you would prefer? Would you like DeMar and then D'Lo kind of gets added in and then maybe try to work out a Rui trade that way? But it's kind of looking like the Lakers seem to be appearing to try to turn D'Lo into something, right? And the Nets seem to be the consensus 3rd team for whatever to land D'Lo. Like the Nets apparently want D'Lo. So get him D'Lo and boom, you're good. So it's going to be configuring. Hopefully something gets done today. Today's day 4. And like I said, hopefully while you're watching this video, hopefully maybe something gets done. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But at least the first step. Like you don't have to do everything right away. Right? Like I'm not saying you have to go trade for Jerami Grant and DeMar at the same time. Like no, like it would just be nice to get the first domino. Like boom, here's Jerami Grant. Right? That would be great. But I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of going and trading for Jerami Grant? Let me know. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.